Have you ever heard of the Bermuda Triangle? Of course you have. But what if I told you there's another, lesser-known triangle of mystery, nestled deep within the ancient Appalachian Mountains? Welcome to the West Virginia Triangle, a 25,000 square mile zone where planes have vanished. Strange creatures have been sighted, and baffling phenomena are almost commonplace. Today, we're diving into one of its most famous and chilling cases. The Braxton County Encounter. The date is September 12, 1952. The small town of Flatwoods, West Virginia, is about to have a night it will never forget. It all started when a group of local boys saw a bright, pulsating red light streak across the sky and appear to crash on a nearby farm. Thinking it might be a downed plane, they gathered a search party, including a local mother, Kathleen May, and a National Guardsman, Eugene Lemon. As they crested the hill, a foul, metallic mist hung in the air, making their eyes water. Then, they saw it. Peeking from behind a large oak tree was a towering figure, at least 10 feet tall. It had a glowing, spade-shaped head with piercing, reddish-orange eyes. Its body was dark and pleated, and it seemed to glide rather than walk. The group stood frozen in terror for a moment before the creature hissed and shot toward them. They screamed and fled down the hill in a blind panic. In the aftermath, several members of the group suffered from irritation and swelling, believed to be caused by exposure to the mysterious mist. The story exploded, making national news. Investigators scoured the area, finding strange tracks and an unusual, oily residue. But the creature itself was gone, leaving behind only questions and a legend that would be told for generations. Was it an alien, an unknown cryptid, or something else entirely? The Braxton County monster remains one of the most compelling and terrifying mysteries of the West Virginia Triangle. What do you think they saw on that hill? Let me know your theories in the comments below. The story takes place in the dense, rolling hills of West Virginia. Sometime in the early 1900s, nestled deep in the woods was a small, one-room schoolhouse. It was a simple log cabin, filled with the sounds of children learning their ABCs. According to local lore, one spring morning, a traveling salesman was making his way through the area. He remembered passing the schoolhouse just the day before, hearing the children's laughter echo through the trees. But on this day, there was only silence. He approached the clearing where the school should have been, but it was gone, completely vanished. There were no signs of a fire, no debris, no foundation stones, just an empty patch of land as if the building had never existed. The teacher and all the students were gone. A search party was organized. For weeks, they combed the surrounding forests, calling out names, looking for any clue. They found nothing. No footprints, no scraps of clothing, nothing to suggest what happened to over a dozen people and an entire building. It was as if the forest had simply swallowed them whole. Over the years, many have tried to explain the mystery. Some say it was a landslide, but the terrain in the supposed location doesn't support that. Others whisper about more supernatural causes, pointing to the area's long history of strange lights in the sky and other unexplained phenomena. Could it be a portal to another dimension? A time slip? Or something else entirely beyond our understanding? The exact location of the schoolhouse has been lost to time, becoming part of the region's folklore. But the story serves as a haunting reminder of the unsolved mysteries hidden within the West Virginia Triangle. What do you think happened to the schoolhouse and its occupants? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Imagine a town where you can't use your cell phone. No Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, not even a microwave. Welcome to Green Bank, West Virginia, located inside the National Radio Quiet Zone, or NRQZ for short. These telescopes are incredibly sensitive. The main one, the Green Bank Telescope, is the largest fully steerable radio telescope on Earth. It's so powerful it could detect the energy of a single snowflake hitting the ground. It listens for faint whispers from the cosmos, signals from distant galaxies, pulsars, and maybe, just maybe, signals from extraterrestrial intelligence. To do that, it needs absolute, total silence. That's why the quiet zone exists. Any device that emits a radio wave is either banned or heavily restricted. Forget scrolling through social media. Residents here have to live a more analog life. They use landlines and dial-up internet. It's like stepping back in time, a digital detox enforced by federal law. The observatory even has a radio police truck that patrols the area, hunting for rogue signals that could ruin decades of research. But the silence has attracted more than just scientists. The area has become a haven for people who claim to suffer from electromagnetic hypersensitivity, a controversial condition where individuals report physical symptoms from exposure to electromagnetic fields. They come to Greenbank seeking refuge from the invisible waves that blanket the rest of our modern world. So, is the West Virginia Triangle just a scientific necessity, or is there something more to it? A place without digital noise, where the sky is dark and the stars are bright, listening for secrets from the universe. It makes you wonder what else might be hiding in the silence of those ancient mountains. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Our story begins on a calm evening in the late 1960s. A group of friends decided to go for a late-night swim in the Guyandotte River, a popular spot to cool off during the hot summer months. The moon was bright, casting a silvery glow on the water's surface. Everything seemed perfect, almost too perfect. As they splashed and laughed, one of them noticed something strange. A large, dark shape was moving beneath the water, right where they were swimming. At first, they dismissed it. Maybe it was just a log or a large fish, but this shape was moving with an unnatural speed and purpose, cycling them. Panic started to set in. They scrambled out of the water, hearts pounding, and watched from the safety of the riverbank. The shape grew larger as it surfaced, revealing something that wasn't a fish or a log. It was massive, with rough, scaly-looking skin and an indistinct form that seemed to defy description. It was unlike any animal they had ever seen or heard of. The creature lingered for a moment, its presence creating an eerie silence that replaced their earlier laughter. Then, as quickly as it appeared, it submerged back into the murky depths and vanished. The friends were left trembling, speechless. What had they just witnessed? Was it a forgotten river monster? An unknown species? Or something else entirely? They never went swimming in that part of the river again. This encounter is just one of many strange tales from the West Virginia Triangle. Stories like the thing in the river have been passed down for generations, becoming a part of the local folklore. They remind us that even in familiar places, there can be deep, unanswered questions lurking just beneath the surface. What do you think it was? A giant catfish? A misidentified animal? Or something truly mysterious? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Our story begins with a dedicated researcher, let's call him Alex, who's fascinated by the strange phenomena reported in this region. He wasn't just a thrill-seeker. He was a scientist, determined to separate fact from folklore. He set up a sophisticated base camp right at the edge of the sprawling ancient forest, armed with cameras, audio recorders, and a whole suite of scientific instruments. His goal was simple: to document the truth. For weeks, his digital diary logged a series of escalating anomalies. It started subtly, strange flickers of light dancing above the tree line where no planes should be. Then came the whispers, faint sounds carried on the wind at night that his audio equipment could barely pick up, sounding almost like distorted voices. His high-tech gear began to malfunction inexplicably. Fully charged batteries would die in minutes. GPS signals would vanish completely, only to reappear hours later. Alex was methodical, documenting every single event. He wasn't scared. He was intrigued. He felt he was on the brink of a major discovery. One night, his excitement turned to unease. He managed to capture a clearer audio recording. It was a single, chilling message whispered into his sensitive microphone. "They're here, watching." After that transmission, all his communication went silent. Days turned into a week with no word. Concerned colleagues contacted the authorities. When a search party finally reached his location, they found a scene that was both ordinary and deeply unsettling. The tent was perfectly intact. His research notes were neatly stacked on a small folding table. His laptop was open, and a digital audio recorder was still running, playing a short, haunting clip on a continuous loop. But Alex was gone. There were no signs of a struggle, no footprints leading away from the camp, Nothing to suggest where he could have gone. It was as if he had simply been erased from existence. And that final recording, it's the last piece of the puzzle. A message left for all of us. Over and over, his voice filled with a mix of terror and conviction, echoed through the empty camp. This isn't urban legend. This is real. What happened to Alex in the West Virginia Triangle? What did he find? And what is still out there, watching from the shadows of the ancient woods? Some mysteries, it seems, are not meant to be solved. They just leave us with more questions. Thanks for joining me on this dive into the unexplained. If you find these mysteries as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more strange tales. Stay curious and stay safe.